Rhonda,
Yeah.
and myself, Ken. All here and present. So we got the approval of prior meeting minutes from our May 11th meeting.
I have not had a chance to look on that, so I just. So I did notice that you have Teresa as absent. I don't know if you put in there that she showed up.
He did. Later on.
Okay, I didn't get that far.
Very last.
We should better look at the brief on what activity. All good? Any revisions, corrections, or anything? All right, is there a motion to approve prior meeting minutes?
I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
All right, motion second. There's motion presented, motion second. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Motion passed. Approval of tonight's agenda. See anything on there on the ordinary, anything you need to add? Alright. Is there a motion to approve the agenda?
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda.
Go ahead and second that. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Motion passed. And we got public comment on new agenda only.
If anyone knows what they are. They're township credit card, well, that's old business, light ordinance, request for purchase of 2 additional laptops, and for deputy, and also for the treasurer, and new position, park cemetery liaison, cemetery parks, and new signs. And then also we're doing the salary resolutions and proposed budget.
Oh, they're up there?
Yep.
You want a copy of that?
Yeah, if anybody needs an agenda, they're up there. Any comments or anything? All right, moving on. Close public comment. Clerk's report, Ken Boone.
Quick report, we got chosen to do a election audit by the state, and it went pretty well. Dennis and I, we learned quite a few things of how to fine tune our processes here, and we found out that we didn't add the people to the permanent ballot list, so that spent some time afterwards doing that. And we also still don't have a black election bag that we need to purchase. For some reason, it's not here.
What is that?
Hmm?
What is it? Sorry?
It's a transfer bag that we seal here, we take to the county clerk on election night, and they open up the seals and deal with it. So, yesterday, the Hart election equipment was taken over for updates. We got it back, and it's locked back up again. We have an August election coming up for the Morley schools. 193 voters. They will be transferred to Deerfield for the voting. However, we will be sending out the absentee ballot applications, and Deerfield will handle it from there. So when they send it back, Deerfield will get it, and they will process it and send them ballots. So we still need to send letters to all 193 voters to notify them to vote there. If they want to vote in person, to go to Morley schools.
And that's the only thing on the ballot?
The only thing that's on the ballot is that, yep.
Okay.
Budget and pay have been working on still. We're getting it into later on in the meeting. So, only planning, ZBA, board of review, and election personnel to vendor status. So they should not go beyond $600. And so we won't really have to give them a 1099 for the year. So that gives them the full amount that we agreed to pay them, and it also saves the township some social security dollars and medical dollars on top of that, so. QuickBooks is still ongoing. Budget categories will still be expanded to eliminate some miscellaneous categories that have appeared to be very large and undescriptive. So there's still plenty of unused categories that we can assign things, so we get a more detailed, budget and what our expenses are actually being spent for without having to dig deep into the QuickBooks. And Brenda and I will be working together to help match them up. And Blaine has looked at her QuickBooks also, and her computer is quite slow.
Gotcha.
But that's it.
The thing you mentioned about the permanent voter registry, is that for the permanent absentee ballot box that you guys went back through and checked?
So that we don't have to send them an application.
Perfect.
That once the ballots are checked and actually work, then they would automatically get a ballot.
Absentee, okay, perfect.
So it saves sending it out with the tax or the postage and envelopes, and then processing it afterwards, and then sending them a ballot.
Okay,
So,
cool.
so
What do you got? All right, thanks.
that's it.
Treasurer's report. Our new treasurer, Brenda, has been in office for a little over a month now and diving in head first.
Right. So, the financial statement I'm doing a little bit different, so I can show you the beginning and the ending balance plus all the receipts and the disbursements that we've done. So, if you ever want a copy of that, I'm glad to give it to you. We do have 5 different funds that we're working with. The general fund is where most of our money is working back and forth. Tax fund is usually the money coming in only for taxes. It's dispersed to the general fund and to the other, like the schools and what millages that we have on our taxes. The building fund is for our new building that we're striving for to get. And then the fire department, of course, is for the fire, the capital improvement fund. And then the ARPA fund is the fund, that's the money that we got that we're trying to divvy up before that came from the government during the COVID time. So, I don't know, do you have
You want to just read the ending balance
Okay.
on each account?
all right, so, and the ending balance in the general account is $333,988.40. The tax account ending balance is $18,850.02. The building fund ending balance is $150,546.93. The fire is $95,342.15. And the ARPA fund is $238,030.29. So we have a total amount of money of $836,757.79. And of course, the money, some of the money have already been designated for certain things, so we can't just spend it all in one time that we want. Okay, so and I did go to the bank and have talking with them, and they're going to review all our accounts and give me Ken and I and whoever else an analysis of what they can do better for us. Our building fund is not drawing interest at the moment, so we're going to see what they can do for us. So they will set up a meeting so that we can talk to them. They have some different options about deposits and that type of stuff. So that was good to talk to them. I also talked to the county about tax, because property tax will have to be coming out. I have to get those all ready by the end of June and out. So I've been talking with the county as to the different types of regulations and things, the rules I have to follow to get them out. And we are also seeing cost-wise as to me doing it myself, or if we are going to outsource it, which would be taken to a printing company where they would print it out and send it out, could be cheaper for us. So we have those things. I'm working on QuickBooks. getting, that's a new program to me. I am learning about that. Blaine helped me a little bit. And Ken and I are working together to get both ours, reconciled correctly together, so that we're both on the same page the whole time. I have asked Amber Anderson here to be my deputy treasurer. She's been in the community for quite a few years. She has 4 children. She's currently not working another job, so she has a lot of time to spend here. She's very interested in the community and how we're working together, and so she's going to be a good fit, I think, here for us.
So Amber, you're interested in this deputy position? Okay. Gotcha. Well, we've got an oath of office we can give you here. Have you swear you in here real quick as deputy treasurer. I'll read it first and then you can read it after me. I do solemnly swear or affirm that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of this state, and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of the office of Deputy Treasurer in and for the Township of Winfield County, Montcalm County, Winfield Township, County of Montcalm, according to the best of my ability. So raise your right hand and read that.
I do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of this state, and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of Deputy Treasurer in this township of Lynchfield, County of Montcalm, according to the best of my ability.
Great. Welcome aboard. You sign that one. Sign that one, and that one's yours.
Okay.
And that'll be through the duration of Brenda's term of 2024. And, yeah, we can see what happens at that time. Welcome aboard. She's got a wealth of knowledge for you. She's a good teacher. Yeah. All right, so, let's see, we got the treasurer there, and then the bank signature card's been updated with Brenda, Ken, and Dennis at this point, and then,
And we'll get Amber on later, yep.
going on that.
Also, I've been working on Tuesdays, and I'll try to get another night in there somewhere, but with my other job Tuesday, they said I could have Tuesdays off, and I've been putting the flag outside, so you know that if you see the flag, I'm here. So,
All right, is that it? Great, thank you. Zoning report from Dave Kelsey.
Okay, for the month of May, 11166 North Green Road. Person there put a seasonal dwelling in, and it expires 7/12/23. And he's been living there before that, and as soon as that date comes up, if he's still there, I'll issue a ticket and take it to court, which I do have his driver's license number, so I can at least do that part. Before I didn't have it, but when you filled out the application, on your application says driver's license number, which is good for that reason. And otherwise I wouldn't be able to do anything, And the sheriff's department's working on the blight there. And I haven't driven out there lately to see it any different, but I'll probably call the sheriff's department Friday or tomorrow and ask them how it's coming along, and they'll pretty much tell me.
Gotcha.
And that same person at 11166 North Green Road asked for a FOIA for who turned them in, which I left a copy with the board there.
Yes.
It was an unknown complaint, but I'm glad they brought it up because there's light there, real bad and everything else. On 11201 Masters, I don't know why I didn't put anything after that, something went on, I know, I don't know, do you have one, Ken, or, well, you have a permit there for Masters Road, I just don't remember what it was for.
Yeah, yeah, I'm looking for it.
But then on, 8072 Cheyenne Drive, 14 by 20 shed, on Green Road in Cutler, there was, a complaint about that, saying that the guy was living there, and he said that, he's not staying in that, his, a camper there. I don't know why he has it there, but if, I've been by there a number of times, I've never seen a vehicle there at all. But I think he might be gonna use it for hunting, and hunting season, maybe deer hunting or something. I don't know if I should, possibly, probably should have him get a seasonal permit if he's gonna use it anytime at all throughout the year. So I'll get back to that guy. Okay, 15400 Cutler Road, the Land Division, 11530, Campbell Road, a lot combination, and 17280 Apache Trail, they put a fence in, and 10788 Green, that's where the person told me that, well, somebody called in, there was a trailer way in the back, and said that his brother, a couple brothers were living in there, and he says nobody's living in there. And it kind of doesn't look like that. It's parked back there, but weeds growing by the steps and this and that, so I kind of believe what he said. And then, oh my gosh, one more here. What is that? 17530 Apache Trail. There was a home addition there, and I put FOIA request on the bottom again. That's the same thing, and that's it.
A lot going on in Green Road.
Oh yeah, well look at it. No, Douglas has a lot. It's a big difference from a year ago. So it takes time to clean it up.
Right.
You can't rush it, I guess. Got to keep heading away.
Right. Let's sort through the questions.
And the 11,201 Masters Road was, last month you gave me, it was for above ground pool.
Oh, okay. I already gave it to you. That was last month.
Yeah, April.
Okay, I don't know why it's in there, or put it in there. Might have given you the same copy then.
I didn't see it on that, I got it here.
Yeah, okay.
All right, is that it, Dave?
Yep, that's all.
Cool, thank you. County and Fire Department update from Pat Carr.
Sure.
Welcome.
On the fire department, we've been extremely busy this year. 160 runs for the year is our high water mark. Our year ends on at the end of September, October 1, and we're at 166 runs right now. So it's been really busy. Winfield is proportionately busy compared to the rest of the townships. I think when we entered the contract with Winfield Township, we were guesstimating about 40 runs a year, and we've exceeded that the last couple, and no doubt we will this year too. So, but things are going well.
So that's fires, car accidents, medical.
Yeah, it seems like, I think there's a lot more of those kind of calls than there was 10 years ago. I don't know, we're just kind of at a place in society, I think, where there's just a lot of people that expect someone else to kind of pick up the slack, and a lot of those calls, I think, fall on fire. When dispatch doesn't know who else to send fire, if it's a cat up a tree or a line down or a grass down, so fire gets the brunt of those kind of calls.
Right.
But we've had some firefighters too, so it's kind of a combination of both. We've just been busy. The other thing on fire, and I emailed you, Ryan.
I got it here.
The state of Michigan about 6 weeks ago developed a program to grant money to all the fire departments in Michigan. They're calling it the Michigan Fire Equipment Grant. And I don't believe it's a competitive grant. I think it's just get your application in and they give you the money. It was $10,000, our original understanding, but one of our vendors encouraged us to ask for a letter of support from all the municipalities that we cover, and he believes that we're eligible for $10,000 per municipality.
Okay.
And in the village of Lakeview, the village manager has given us his letters, and he believes that as well from what he's read. So I don't completely know if that's true or not from what I'm reading, but that's how we're gonna approach our application. So we're asking all the townships that we cover, and this is a sample letter. You can use that. You can write your own. You can put this on your letterhead. You can sign this one the way it is, whatever works for you. But it's just stating that Lakeview District Fire is your primary fire department of record, and that's all they're looking for. It's pretty.
And then you guys would handle submitting all the grant requests and all that, and you follow up if you get the grant on more or less our behalf? And
Yep.
Perfect.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's the crux of the fire business for the month, I guess. On the county side of things, the blight ordinance, to my real disappointment, is really stalling out. I think we've kind of got mixed reviews, and thank you for commenting and giving us feedback on that. I know a lot of townships haven't taken the time to do that, but really getting a mixed bag of what people want out of that. But at the end of the day, it comes down to, this thing is only as good as the sheriff enforcing it for us. And the sheriff doesn't like the idea of the new one. He and the district judge believe the one that's in place is viable, and they want to continue down that road, to the point that the district judge won't even discuss it with us because it is a pending ordinance that he I don't know the right word. He judges over that ordinance, therefore he doesn't think it's appropriate to discuss it with us because he's the judge of that ordinance. So just, for background, if you remember, the county attorney said that it wasn't legal for the county to have this countywide blight ordinance because we don't have countywide zoning. So he encouraged us to get all the townships to adopt their own ordinance that would be the same for each of the sheriff's department enforcing it. And we had him draft that. That's, you guys are familiar with that. But through that process, the sheriff said, baloney, I'm gonna keep writing, I'm gonna keep ticketing under the old one until the judge tells me not to. I don't care what the county attorney said, until the judge tells me I can't do it, I'm gonna continue to do it. So we're at a place where it really doesn't make any sense for us to continue to spend money and have our legal counsel tell us this and draft this and have all the townships get on board with that, only for the sheriff and the judge to throw up their hands and say, we're not gonna do this.
I got a quick question.
So I don't know where we're at on that.
Why isn't that escalating in the next court?
What's that?
Why isn't that escalating up in the next court? The judge is refusing, you have to go a tier higher. I mean, you have to go over, if it's really an issue.
What's about the county judge?
Well, you got district and circuit court.
Kind of depends. I mean, each township, more or less, is what the county's saying, is that the townships have to adopt their own blight ordinance for the sheriff to
I don't
enforce.
want to take up time. Does he have
Yeah.
a written policy of it, just like to read it?
Is that the website?
Yeah, it's on, I think the blight ordinance is on the website.
Okay.
If not, I can get it up
Yeah,
there.
I can double check, but
Um,
it should be.
Well, yeah, I like, the general crux of it, and we're gonna either, are you supposed to be meeting with the sheriff?
Yeah, we've got a meeting Monday, so I hope to be a whole lot smarter about it after that. But,
Okay.
we were hoping to meet with the judge and the sheriff, get their take on it. The judge can't because of the conflict of, so we'll see what the sheriff says, but I don't know. It's, where do you go if you,
Right.
and there's several townships that don't like it, that aren't gonna sign, don't wanna have it for an enforcement tool. The way it's written, your zoning administrator or anyone else you delegate can do the enforcement, but the sheriff could too. So there's several options. I think that part of it makes sense.
Okay.
Those other townships that don't want any part of it, then, I don't know really what they're giving up. They can, they could have the sheriff, enforce it, or they could have their people, or they could do nothing with it, but they don't even want to adopt it. So we've got a handful of those, and so, long story short, it's just kind of stalling out with us. My colleagues are wary of it. We're tired of, beating our head against the wall only in the end to find something that isn't gonna work. So
Okay.
we'll see. It's on our agenda for Monday, and we'll know more about it. But that's really about the biggest thing at the county level. But I'm glad to answer any questions if you have anything else going on.
How's your clerk's move going?
Yeah,
She seems thrilled.
yeah, she's, I don't know.
Yeah, no, that's cool. I'll let that one go, but here's, I guess our letter of support signed, and,
Thank you.
Hopefully that goes through, and,
Yeah, appreciate it, thank you.
Each municipality then adds to that and gets more equipment for you guys, that works for everybody, so.
Find that, put it in. Are you guys, Brian, are you talking about the blight thing more in new business or old business?
It's, just that we're doing what you guys are. I'm waiting to see what happens at your meeting,
Okay.
so, yeah. Other than that, that's all I need from you.
Okay, I might take off, we're buried trying to irrigate, so if you're.
Get to work. Yeah, no, I appreciate it, thanks,
Yeah,
Pat.
thank you.
All right. Next up, we got planning commission report from Julia.
So we had our last meeting on 5:15, that was a special meeting, so we could continue to discuss the wind ordinance, and we got through it, voted to send it on to a public hearing. Previously, was it February, March, we had done the same with solar, we were kind of waiting to hopefully be able to do a public hearing at the same time, so we got there. So at this point, at the board level, we're gonna go ahead and schedule a public hearing. Possibly by the end of the month, we need to have 15 days for proper notice in the paper. And both ordinances will be published along with the date and place and time and all that stuff. In the Daily News. Are we only publishing in the Daily News? Right. So that should be up next week, and we're hoping potentially that we can get that scheduled for the end of the month still. So that's really all we worked on in the last couple of weeks. That's all I know.
So I did speak with Mark Graham at the church down here. He said usually Mondays they have available Monday evenings. So if we wanted to schedule it for June 26th, that kind of gives us at least enough notice to be able to send that information out to the planning commission, get it posted, get it on the website, get it out on Facebook or social media, and then kind of put a posting in the Daily News.
Daily News won't get it in time.
That wouldn't be 15 days, well,
Yeah.
But they can't publish it in time.
If I submit it to them tomorrow, it might get in the Tuesday paper.
Okay, but that's still 15 days.
Tuesday is the 13th.
We have like 20 or something.
Nope, it wouldn't.
No.
That'd be the 27th.
Yeah.
Why is the Daily News so
Mm.
slow?
They have to get.
So I have 18 days from tomorrow to the 26th. Okay, so, well, first of all, it'll probably be Monday actually, because you have to get it to them before the day, like the end of the day. So you'd have to get it to them.
But I think if we put it out on Facebook and on the website, social media is a faster medium, then at least it's out there in the public, and then it's posted in the paper. I mean, according to what the MTA and the prior legal opinion that they shared with us, that social media is a more instant medium. So, do we want to go ahead and just shoot for June 26th? Then
So if we count calendar days and not business days, we should be good if they get it in by Monday the 12th to have, that's exactly 15 days until the 26th. Unless you need 15 days.
when you send that copy, it goes in urgent to get this in the paper.
Yeah, otherwise we can look at the next week, but it's a I mean, we don't.
Then we're falling into the 4th of
We
July.
have to
and,
go into the 10th, I think, because nobody wants to.
Let's try to do it for June 26th. And then I'll secure the church. I think we did $100. I'll have them send us an invoice for $100. But yeah, let's plan on June 26th, 2023 at 7 p.m. at the Crossroads
And
Church.
if for some reason they can't get it in time, we'll
And then can you send that out to all the planning commission and?
yeah,
let them
and
know
then
what it is?
I'll get the ordinance, the wind one finalized tomorrow, just the numbers that I need to get in
Yeah,
there.
changes and then send it to me or send it to
You both.
Shoemaker and get it posted on the website.
Yeah, and the blight ordinance is not on there, so I'll see if we can get
Alright,
that.
I'll get that added too. I think I'm gonna do that. So, is there a motion to go ahead and accept the June 26th, 2023 public hearing, combined wind and solar?
I make a motion for June 26th.
Second?
I'll second that.
All right, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Motion passed, unanimous. So, June 26th, public hearing for wind and solar ordinances as they're written right now by the planning commission. So, all right, moving on. Old business, township credit card. Ken has said that is,
I got the forms and resubmit with new names and go back through the whole process again.
all right,
So,
that's still in process, and hopefully by next month we'll have that submitted, and then we can use that instead of personal expenses. The website is still under construction. It's going well. I've seen some photos that Jamie Snyder has volunteered taking great shots in and around the cemeteries and some of the lakes, and you know, pretty much the landscape of Winfield Township. She's taking photos of the Lakeview Library that is also part of our taxes, so that's moving forward there.
Yep, I think she's trying to finish up the photos this weekend, it sounded like, so once all that's done, we'll take another look at the sort of the mock website, and if everything looks good, they start the actual build. Right now, just kind of looking at it and making sure we like what we see.
And they can pull all the documents from the current website and all that.
Correct,
Into their,
and then they just want the meeting, the rest of the meeting minutes, which I've talked to Ken about a little bit. Those don't need to be into them for them to get their website running, they just eventually,
so they're not updating the current website?
well,
They
they
are.
are for now, because we don't have the new one up and running, so like the blight ordinance and the wind and solar are gonna be on the current winfieldtownship.org, but when they're the ones that kind of managing that until we get the new one
Okay.
officially up and running. So that should be soon, and then I'll just have to get trained on what I'm doing to manage it, and we should be good. So it's been a little bit slower than I initially planned on it.
Is that something that you could meet with them and
Yeah.
physically
Yeah,
show you?
so we can do a Zoom meeting, is what we talked about. The current officer. I should be good. I just have to get that. I'm not gonna set all that up until the website's actually.
Yeah, I can't thank them enough for taking over our existing website, office machines, taking over the email hosting and email servers to get that out of the former deputy treasurer and all that, so.
Yep.
Did,
They've been great.
Teresa, did you get with Cole?
Yeah, we're gonna chat tomorrow.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Cool, perfect. That way.
It's a little
you can-
difficult between cases at work, causing him a little OR.
Yeah, yeah. So, yeah, it's usually just try to set a time with them and get that set up for you. That way you're not using personal, you're using that trustee to email, and works out well. So they're pretty helpful over there. They definitely stepped up to help us out. So the clerk's audit is ongoing. They asked for additional information. We sent that, so that's still in process. We'll just leave that on old business. The new township hall, KL Designs, I chatted with him earlier this week. He's continuing to modify the drawings. Myself, Dennis, and Ken met with him and took the existing plans of that wine bar, made some minor changes to it, took out kitchen areas, whatnot, added offices, you know, to try to maximize the functionality of the office portion of it, and then the rest of it's just kind of a big meeting area, and then storage for the election equipment and all the other files and everything. So that's ongoing. That'll be on old business for a little bit here. Hopefully we'll have that either for our July meeting or sometime later in July, but hopefully for July. That way we can get that plans approved by the board, and we can put that out for qualified bids for builders to send in bill, cost estimates to build this thing for us. So, and at that point, we're looking for all the bills, including well, septic, the building, materials, everything, so that it's basically move-in ready. Put this place up for sale, and we're moving in. So, next up, checks and bills to pay. Last two minutes.
The one written on the front of that one was a late ad.
Big thanks to the volunteers too for Memorial Day. The cemeteries got cleaned up, looked great. Picture Perfect was able to get new roads in the Amble Cemetery. The trash cans over there now, which we're gonna basically haul from there, dump it in the dumpster here. The dumpster at the Amble Cemetery is being abused. So that's why we pulled it out of there and brought it over here because everybody was just throwing their personal trash in there, so.
These are the two separate things. Oh, I see. I don't know what that means, but.
Can we get it? So we're going to grab the drive and here we go.
Don't give them both.
Prepaying for the clearing the lot.
They get charged to the wrong people.
So if we have trash cans over at the cemetery, they still gonna dump their trash. It's a lot smaller. Mm-hmm. So I don't know what stuff they take off graves. Somewhere else for it. I like to see township volunteer, trash service back there. Mm-hmm. That would help us blight. Yes. We'll bring that up. It would because everybody would have trash.
There was no DKW license there?
What's that?
Was there a license there?
No. No. She might have it though.
No, she's
No,
got
those
payroll.
are payrolls. Yeah, give me those, that sheet.
So, I'm just gonna put this together, but it's
Okay.
4792, it's 4790 and 91 that you guys are gonna.
Give me the top sheet. I don't think
Oh,
there's
just
top sheet.
that one.
Is it license?
Oh, did I miss it?
That one, the 6,800 should have been made out to DK. For some reason it ended up with Picture Perfect on two of them. So this is a valid one, and we'll have to reprint the.
Do you want me to just take the top sheet and you keep this? Okay, keep this one, that's good. I'll give this to her.
This one here will have to be voided. Please.
You want me to leave this with it?
Yeah. That one will go, this one here will be voided, and I'll reissue on the.
Okay, so the one that's I was gonna say I didn't see Weiss, but you're saying that the
Right,
one that's.
right, that one there should have been.
Goes to Weiss.
Otherwise,
He holds that check.
Which is-
Okay.
I did them in order, they ended up on the next one.
This one doesn't. I'll give it to you. All of these are,
You have to look at, under the current instead.
so not here.
No, look at
Okay.
You see it now? You have to click it 3 times.
I did not see it before, so thank you.
Well, it's a whole check amount, not the, what's.
No, it's current versus like less taxes.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Didn't pull the right column out.
Slow down.
When you fill the reports out, you end up with this thing that's, if I spread it across two of my screens, it's hard to find the columns.
So this,
You can't print that.
Huh?
You can't print that?
Oh, I could, but talking probably 3 pages wide. So,
This one says 470 and then 430 for the electronics, so 600. Where did you find that on here?
Right here. These two together make 470.
Oh,
It takes a little bit, trust me.
it's a complicated checks, isn't it? Here's you, you look good.
Yeah, those were more difficult to go through.
Yeah, I mean, it's fine now that I know what I'm looking at, I didn't.
because that's the one I gotta get viewers, so they know how to put it all in, I can tell the reasons,
Sorry about that delay. So we have to do the checks and bailiffs,
It's
right?
just in a different little format, it doesn't catch your eye right away.
Yeah.
I tried to get them in.
So I'll make a motion to pay the checks and bills?
Yeah, motion for that.
Yep. I'll make a motion.
Is there a second?
I'll second it.
All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
In that motion,
Oh, with
We wanna say
the
to correct.
correction.
where
The
did that get
correction of
correct?
the picture perfect.
This check to be paid twice. Okay. Yeah, all right, so
With that correction, motion passed. All right, on to new business.
Second on that personally?
Teresa.
Okay.
So I'll make the motion that we pay the checks and bills with the correction of check, what was it, 4891 or,
6,800.
well, I know the amount, and then the check.
4791.
4791, to make out correctly to the place.
Right, okay.
I'll second that.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All right, now motion passed. Correction. Okay, so the 2023 blight ordinance provided by the county, we're currently tabling that, see what the sheriff and the county meeting turns out. You know, we're definitely trying to see what happens with that ordinance, and then if the county doesn't do much with it, we'll take that template and get our attorney to review it and see if we can tighten it up, add some teeth to it so that it allows Dave to enforce it along with the sheriff, and see what we can do to get the township cleaned up. Next up, we've got a request to purchase 2 additional new laptops from Office Machines. One to upgrade the treasurer's computer and one for the deputy treasurer, deputy clerk to use while on call for training, and then basically have that one also as a backup if any one of the clerks or the treasurer's computers go down. Obviously, we have Office Machines on, standby to help out with any IT or tech issues that we have on the computer, but they looked at Brenda's computer that she inherited, and it's outdated, it's too slow. He tried to remote log into it, and so there's not much we can do to upgrade it, so he said they'll offer us the same deal that we paid for the other laptops we've already bought for the township, so. I need a motion to go ahead and approve spending $1,600 for the 2 new laptops, and we'll get those things moving forward.
I make a motion to approve purchasing those.
Second.
All right, we got a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Motion passed unanimously, so 2 new laptops coming up. Last meeting, I should have probably had this under old business, but we had a discussion about a possible new position for the township regarding the Parks and Cemetery Citizen Liaison. I typed up kind of a brief job description, basically call it a Buildings and Grounds Manager. Liaison to the Township Board of Directors from the following locations: Larson Keeler Park, Amble Cemetery, Dickerson Witzel Cemetery, and the Township Hall. Oversee general upkeep, cleanup of all 4 locations. Recruit, oversee resident volunteers for assistance. Pre-Memorial Day cleanup in the spring, pre-Veterans Day cleanup in the fall, and just general cleanup of those cemeteries and the hall itself. And then assist with township cleanup days, and then report to the board for any upgrades needed for expense/approval. Wage would be set at roughly $100 a month, because obviously we have Heckman that takes care of the mowing, but that way this person would also stay on top of Heckman, report to us on any issues that there are. That way we can get things, keep the township properties cleaned up. And then any expenses that they had would be following our proper expense tracking. Items that must be purchased include receipt and turn into the clerk for reimbursement. So I figured I'd bring the job description here, and then we could also look to post that in the Daily News, put it out on the website, Facebook. I was hoping that Johnson, Jay Johnson, might be interested in that, since he lives right across from the Larson Keeler Park there. So, but I figured I'd bring it here, get at least approval on the job description, and then go ahead and get that posted out there. So. Any questions, concerns regarding that? I'll clean up the locations.
Do you want a motion?
Yeah.
So I'll make a motion that we post for new position. With the correct teaching. It looks good.
Is there a second on that? Any discussion?
I'll second that.
All right, we got a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Motion passed. And then, I'll get this cleaned up and put out on the social media and website, and then I'll get you one to put in the news as well. Next up, with regards to the Memorial Day and being out at the cemeteries, checking things out, looking around, signs. The one thing I noticed is that they never really have a claim to fame as to those are Winfield Township. So I reached out to a sign company in Howard City, Viking Sign Solutions. I've seen their work all over the areas, and they created kind of some new signs for us that would actually say at the top, that had a big W on it, and then right below that say Winfield Township, and then the name of the location, Amble Cemetery, all the cemeteries, and then all the signs would match, throughout the township. There is a sign over at Larson Keeler Park, sitting on the ground. So we'll do a larger sign, it'll be in the ground with 2 posts, and then once we get to Township Hall, we'll follow the same format for that, Winfield Township Hall. So the price on that was $1,675, and that includes everything installed, and they design everything, put it in the ground, and take out the old signs and get these new ones in there. But I just think, if these are township properties, they should have the township name on them, and kind of represent us more than just the name of that location. So, any discussion?
You want a public discussion?
We can get to that.
I'll make a motion.
Captain makes a motion.
I like the darker colors. I think that will look sharp. I also think it'll be easier to keep looking clean than the white. And I don't know how old those signs are. They're probably super old, so no wonder they look rough. But I think these look great, and I like the darker colors. And I love the idea of adding yeah.
The sign material will be what?
Let's see here. It's the arch. He's willing to do the arch top. It'll be a printed vinyl,
Printed vinyl and onto what?
like a sub board. I mean, basically it's commercial grade sign.
Yeah.
He's doing he did majority of the signs in Howard City, up and down Main Street, and he's doing them branching further out. So they'll last and
Vinyl?
nobody vandalizing
Is that
them.
thick? Or is it like a flag?
Okay.
It should be thicker.
Well, I think think it'll look sharp and freshen things up a little bit and give it, Winfield Township the recognition that it's ownership.
Is this just in the same order as the?
Yeah, it's basically that exact same sign.
I'd like,
Um,
potentially, this is just a small minor detail probably, but of, taking the second to last bullet and moving it up toward, like, to be second, because basically we talk about how we can remove things if they're not removed, and then way later tell them the dates that need to be removed by, so if we maybe put that together.
Oh, the
'cause and I
artificial
think that's one of
flowers.
the bigger issues. Yeah, and just the dates, so that people can see it right at the top, like this is how we expect it to be done, but that, I mean, it doesn't have to be.
Yeah, right at the top, though, cemetery authority reserves the right to remove the
Right.
tree, shrub, and unsightly flowers or emblems.
Yeah, colors, everything is good.
Cool. All right, so is there a motion to go ahead and approve new signs for the cemeteries and the park?
I'll make a motion that we approve the quote as written for the offering sign.
Is there a second on that?
A second for them.
All right, Lisa seconds that. All those in favor say aye. Motion passed unanimously. I'll get with Viking Signs, give them the go-ahead to keep those rolling and. So. 23 and 24 budget discussion and approval. We worked pretty good putting together the budget that we have. I guess we'll start with salary resolutions. We were able to pull up some statewide average median income, so it's the sheet here. You can see on the far right side of the column that the statewide average median for these positions, supervisor, clerk, treasurer, trustees, deputy clerk, deputy treasurer, we are well below the state average median income for pay. Supervisor was at $14,920. Current supervisor pays $9,200. Clerk, $18,900 for the statewide. Current clerk is $16,500. Treasurer, statewide was $19,100. Current treasurer is $13,500. Trustees were at $1,200, and the statewide is $2,250. Deputies, $1,400, and we are currently at $1,200. So the only ones that are really in range were pretty much the deputies. So the middle column here, the resolution, effective July 1st, 2023, we have the supervisor wage going from $9,200 to $10,500, $1,300 increase. The clerk is going from $16,500 to $18,500, it's a $2,000 a year increase. Treasurer is going from $13,500 to $16,500, that's a $3,000 increase. Trustees are going from $1,200 to $1,500, that's a $300 increase. Special meetings for trustees are bumped to $55 from $52. The deputy clerk is going from $1,200 to $1,500, and the deputy treasurer is going from $1,200 to $1,500 a year. So the total increases in salaries across the board, just for the board members and the deputies, was $7,503, which brings us more in line. The total state average median for those wages was $60,483, and we'll be at $51,555. So cost of living and the roles and what they pay definitely need to be bumped slightly. The assessor, we are bumping him from $20,928 to an even $21,500. That's a $572 raise. Zoning admin is currently at $7,080. We're bumping him to $8,100, which brings him in line with the other townships that he's working with. The zoning board of appeals is going from $45 a meeting to $50 a meeting. The planning commission is going from $45 to a flat $50 a meeting. We're taking out the planning commission chair, the planning commission secretary. It was all, difference of $5 in wages, and trying to do payroll on that and who makes what and how to do it. We're simplifying it. You get $50 a meeting. there's 12 meetings a year for the planning commission, that's $600, they're still below, $600 a meeting to get a W-2. Board review is being bumped from $50 to $55 a meeting. Zoning permits went up from $30 to $50. PC special meetings, those are still at $350, and then ZBA special meeting, those are still $250. Any discussion as far as the wages go?
Can you, I love saying, anything, can you get a breakdown of percentage for that? Just so you can compare it to your growth. I understand you guys deserve raises, I'm looking for that, but I wanna make sure the township's still growing, I ran it out money up. That's right.
We're still growing, it's just been, it's never been updated or brought up.
No, I know.
That's why I had the statewide median.
Yeah.
So, and it was 2%, if that, raise across the board, and just trying to equal it out or bring it closer to that state median. So, and then, well, let's finish the budget, or the salary resolutions.
I just have a question, the trustee special meetings, I've never really heard of that, but is that basically because everyone above, that's not a trustee on the board is salary, so we just get a certain amount per meeting
If we have a special meeting for it.
If for some reason we can't do like the public hearing on that date, we have to call something, that's what it is.
Right, yep.
I didn't even know that was a thing, but now I do.
Any other discussion? All right, is there a motion to go ahead and approve the July 1st, 2023 salary resolutions?
Yeah, I'll make a motion that we approve the salary resolutions.
I'll go ahead and second that motion as written and raised as approved here. And let's do a roll call.
Roll call, okay. Ryan,
Yes.
Julia,
Yes.
Teresa,
Yes.
Brenda,
Yes.
and myself, yes.
Motion passed. Bring this a little bit closer. All right, next up we have the 23-24 budget. That's this sheet here. The other sheet that was attached is the profit and loss, but this kind of informed me, this is as of last month on the profit and loss side of it. To kind of explain where we came up with our numbers for our budget, on this sheet here, he's got a 4-year average. So he was able to compile out of QuickBooks and an Excel spreadsheet what, over the past 4 years, the township has spent for, or what we've had come in as far as revenue, and what we've spent regarding expenses. So, total income projected is $433,674. Expenses, we're looking at $422,682. That gives us a net profit approximately of $10,992. So that covers all of our bills. We've got multiple pages in there. It includes the salary increases, everything that we could think of. Expense-wise, they were, kind of based off that 4-year average. It was hard to base some things off of last year's. You'll see on this page here, the profit and loss shows miscellaneous income and other revenue. You should never have miscellaneous income or other revenue. So those will be cleaned up. Both Ken and Brenda will be working with Blaine to reconcile both of their versions of QuickBooks, as well as make adjustments to get these things to balance.
So we're including that because we need to, because otherwise we're gonna be short on budget, but we're gonna hone in on like what does that actually mean, and hopefully we're.
There was a lot of movement of money from the prior administration where the county ARPA funds and the federal ARPA funds got deposited, moved, transferred, and never really updated, but they're trackable. So that's the saving grace of it, but there's still slight reconciliation differences that need to be worked out to get these things to balance as they should. So, Ken, you got anything?
There's, we're the mess to try to come up with this, and like I said, when I looked at that they have almost $73,000 in miscellaneous income, and then to turn around and try to dig into it to find what was that. There was a $50,000 one, which that one bounced all over the place, and so, and then there was a $22,000 one, but that appears that it should have been under township tax versus underneath the miscellaneous income. So, and like I said, we can break them out into more numbers and have a description of what they are instead of lumping. You know, there's all rentals that, you know, that we're gonna come back up again, that we really need them underneath this, their own separate, you know, line item. So,
We, I think we're confident, in our budget hearing. I mean, there was the three of us, and we had it open to the public, and nobody showed, so nothing was voted on. It was more or less putting this together, trying to figure out a plan of attack as far as moving forward with what we've got, but I think our budget is pretty much in line, with a projected profit of almost $11,000. And then if some of the expenses come in less, that's great, and if the revenue is more than what we had projected here, that's even more, that we can continue to pull into the township and, you know, keep us solvent. So it's, the money's there, it's just a matter of getting it dialed in. And then I think we discussed also about having as we go into 24, that's our required year for a audit for the state that goes over policies, procedures to make sure that the treasurer's account is reconciled and balanced, that matches along with the clerk's account. So at some point then we'll go ahead and get a true audit between those two, and we're not going to be using Campbell. That was done prior. I didn't get much information from that audit as it was. Questions?
Comment about the Campbell audit was that there was no way that they could have looked at what Colleen had and honestly gave a report on it. So when certain ones didn't even exist, and the other ones had, you know, errors in them. So, and they most likely went with what the treasurer had when they did that audit. So,
Gotcha.
okay.
So we'll get it cleaned up, dialed in, get you a new laptop, get that organized, and yeah, it's interesting. So. I guess we need a motion to go ahead and approve the budget for 23, 24, and yeah. Is there a motion for that?
I'll motion to approve the budget for 23, 24.
I will go ahead and second that motion, and let's do a roll call. As written.
Okay. Ryan?
Yes.
Julia?
Yes.
Teresa?
Yes.
Brenda?
Yes.
And myself? Yes.
Motion passed unanimously. So, we'll go ahead. Can we get this? Can you send me this portion of it on a PDF? What, on
Sure.
the website?
I'm gonna go scan it in.
Yep.
Create a PDF.
Okay, and then, we'll go ahead and open it up for public comment.
First one, I got traffic going.
State your name and where you're from.
Andrew Joint, up the road.
Gotcha.
These guys get notification from Eagle.
For,
I have a permit, I have a major project going on Bailey. It's been up for public, comment for the last 17 days. It's supposed to be posted at the post office, and my neighbors have received postings of it. It goes back to when we flooded. I'm doing reconstruction of historic roadway on my property, dredging out the corner of Naomi and Bailey right there. The water actually flows in through my property and there's a discharge channel. He's people. Eagle has all the permits, Corps Engineers has everything. I'm just here to let you guys know it's gonna be starting unless somebody puts the foot down. But Eagle and Engineers have this on.
So that's right by that sharp corner.
Yes.
And
Big
your
white house,
Big gray house with ponds
white with black shutters.
with the
white
big
bottom.
tractor tires in there.
Yeah, I got an excavator down below, decks up, top way can go down, yeah.
And you're doing all this, and you got the permits and everything through the Eagle.
You
and
can,
you go.
you can go ahead and check it out.
Cool. And then that'll flow.
That actually goes to Tamarack,
Okay.
believe it or not. There's a man-made discharge channel out there probably in 1968, 1970. That's why there's that dry swamp there. All that actually flows through, yeah,
Okay.
all that kind of goes back. The black hooks along with the drain, we have that 500 here.
Right.
So I go through that area.
Gotcha.
So there's more than one, yeah.
I haven't seen anything come through yet, but
They should have notified you.
You see it?
State's job, so.
Well, sorry, I missed your name.
Andrew, last name's Joint, Joint.
I'll write that down. I'll research this.
Okay. And then on your blight ordinance, what, zones are you trying to apply that to?
Whole township.
Okay. What are you gonna define as junk? You guys just can't say junk. You have to have
Well, it's very, very
definitions.
detailed, believe me.
I just pulled it up and the template's not very detailed.
Which one's
It's
that?
not on the website, unless you're finding it
Well, then
somewhere.
where am I gonna find it?
Yeah, we'll get
We're
it
gonna get it
posted up
up,
there.
but-
We've got
The one that's been emailed around, I'm reading.
I thought it was quite a bit.
You just, I'm not trying to tell you not to do it.
Right.
I'm just advising you very particular on definitions. If your definitions are too vague, you're gonna get kickback from the judge and things like that, and you're gonna get thrown under certain ways.
Right.
And that's where you're gonna run into your issue.
Yeah, we plan on, that's why we're kind of tabling it, see what the sheriff.
And I would, you might wanna possibly look at different zones, because you're gonna have farmers that have equipment that goes down. And if you're flying, say, in Indian Lake, someone has a vehicle go down for half a year, and they're not working on it, you might say it's a ban. Farmers, sometimes their equipment's down for more than a year, if you start going after them, it's gonna be really ugly, really fast for equipment.
Right.
And we don't want that, so you might wanna,
Let's understand the junk that's sitting over on the side of Bailey there that hasn't moved.
and there's a difference between sitting for a year, or 2 years, or 3 years, or 10 years. or
Trees
20
growing
years.
around
Yeah.
it. I mean, that's where. we can
I
get
just
rid
don't
of
wanna see somebody get caught up where they have something go down, they're not able to fix it because of a full season of farming, and they're getting nailed with ordinances to do.
Yep.
Okay.
Gotcha. Is that it?
No, because you guys haven't been one like that, but.
What's that?
I'll come back and you guys start talking about your one solar
Oh,
stuff.
all right. Well, there's public hearing June 26th.
Okay. Some of your numbers won't work out, but yeah, just as far as your spacing, like standoff from property lines. You're saying you had it on a 20-acre property, but you can't get a transformer on a 20-acre property with the standoff that you want. You're asking for 2,000 feet, now I think you can fit 20 acres in it. Well, it'd have to be 2,000 by 2,000 or more, 4,000 by 4,000 square foot parcel.
Cool. Thank you so much.
I'll come back.
Yeah, the public hearing, you can bring all that up there and then
Okay.
that, before it comes to us, so. Anybody else?
Helen Johnson. I would like to know what you guys are doing, possibly looking into a trash service for the township. Because I know you guys at Indian Lakes now have a deal in place or getting one in place. The whole township needs it. That would help with your blight issue on people throwing stuff out. And far as abandoned vehicles, it's not just the farm stuff that's sitting over there. I do know they go steal parts for the stuff that they use now. It may sit there, but they have got rid of a lot of the junk. There's still more that they could get rid of. I'm not saying they couldn't. But they do go get the roller chains when the roller chains to the harvester and stuff, and they steal them off of that to go there because they're hard to come by. Second, take a ride down Yankee Road,
and take a look at the abandoned cars that are sitting out in the backyard. There's at least 7 of them with the doors open and the trunks open and no plates, no nothing, just sitting there. And then you can look at that and say, well, oh, wait a minute. I drove bus down there for 7 or 8 years. They're still in the same dang spot.
Is that on your list?
Oh, you betcha. I submitted a list. You kind of singled just the one little area. I just, off the top of my head, went around here in my head and singled out. Not trying to go after anybody, but that shows that there's more blight around here.
Gotcha.
Semi-trailer sits right over here next to a house. It's leaning by the township park. I don't think that's very safe.
Pile of cinder blocks.
Cinder blocks, right. So,
I've had numerous calls for the spring cleanup day. We didn't get it in time. We are also diving into township-wide trash service. We've reached out to other townships. We're waiting for information to come in from both Granger, Republic. Republic came to Indian Lake and offered the same deal that they offered to the village of Howard City, based on their location in Pearson, to be able to dump. And it's $10 a month for the first year, $11 a month for the second year, $12 a month for the third year. So, a lot of the residents around the lake jumped on that, and there's blue bins, and they were trying to cut out the amount of garbage truck traffic, because we had 5 different companies coming through the lake, and so the
I know
deal
the
was
village
there.
of Lakeview is thinking of doing that also, to go down to 1 because of the roads and the stuff that, and meeting with the buses.
The savings alone are huge for a lot.
Well, I had Waste Management, I loved them, they sold out to Granger, which I wasn't happy, and now I have Granger, I'm paying $33 a month just to have it out in my driveway on 46. So now you're getting it for $10 a month and $11 a month. The whole township could use a break.
Yeah.
That'll
So-
save me
And-
$100 a month.
Yep.
Yeah, and that's something that, depending on, what the pricing and everything is on it, whether that's just a deal that will be offered to all residents of the township, or whether we include that in, a millage for.
I used to
on
live
your
years
property
ago in
taxes.
Belvedere Township, everybody had it in their taxes, everybody had it.
Yeah, they
The
still
whole
do that.
township had it, and it was wonderful.
Yeah.
So I talked to Tara and Minko over there, and they still do that. And she said that the feedback they have gotten, because I was just concerned about people that didn't want to participate, and if they don't, I guess, have it as part of their taxes. But she said that, and she's very new in that position, that they've gotten only positive feedback for that. So we have talked about Granger and Republic, both of us, so we're working on it.
Yeah, we're
And
just
your
trying to-
cemeteries,
Yeah, thank you.
bravo, bravo.
I was surprised Picture Perfect was able to pull that off and get it done. And
He said it was hard, I talked to him because you guys are working and we are to clean up the rest of our stuff at the park and cell. And he said, well, I haven't got there yet, but we had a hard time getting in the cemeteries because everybody kept coming in to put flowers and stuff, but we got it done. I says, well, I really appreciate it, it's beautiful.
And with regards to the water there, the setup, I've never seen anything like it. The spigots coming out of the ground, the spigots every 20 feet, every 50 feet, and that's why it costs so much to turn that pump on and off. So I think in our future meetings here, we're going to try to get a plumber out there. Maple Valley had the same setup, and they simplified it at the little shed called? What's the shed at the cemetery called?
I know what you're talking about.
The pump house is
The
there,
pump house.
Yeah, it's coming out.
The Sexton House at the cemetery. Maple Valley was able to they simplified it, just put a spigot right out of that building. Then you don't need to turn on all, 100 spigots that are there. Half of them are probably damaged and hit by the lawn crew. And you want water? There's a spigot right there.
We could even provide like watering pots,
Yeah,
it would be so easy to do and just have a few, that way you don't have to drag a hose around or.
Yeah, there's not gonna be a hose, there's
No,
gonna be a spigot.
Yeah. So-
But that's
So
something that
you're
we'll look
Bring
to-
your milk jug.
Yeah, we'll look to get that cleaned up. I think Maple Valley had it capped and redone for like $400. So that's something that we'll look at. That way we'll get water there, but then it's, going through and, cutting the lines, pulling the spigots out of the ground too, which would clean up the property and probably make it a little bit easier to mow as well. So, the county trash, or township trash and the cemetery, those are
What'd you find out about the fence?
Nothing yet. That's also on the.
I'm not gonna let you forget the fence.
No, I understand. that.
Sorry.
That's something that needs to be.
Your 2 minutes are up.
I'm taking yours, Kevin.
To do it right, that would need to be sandblasted to save the appearance of that fence. Sandblast that wrought iron and then have it either powder coated or professionally painted to take off the 40 or 50 years of paint that's on there, and then have it reinstalled.
Needs a welder replaces too.
And
Yeah.
weld and other.
Well,
repairs.
I know Tony went out and put the flags on the Amble one over here, and I believe Julia, did you do it?
Yeah.
You and your kids.
You had a wonderful job, because I noticed it, I drove by both of these on my bus route, and it was really nice. And the kids on the bus remarked about it. So don't think that people don't see it, it really was.
My daughter's trying
Nice.
to steal some flags.
Yeah. I walk around replacing on all the veterans, but still missed one.
Yeah, you missed my dad's
Mhm.
on Amble, so my brother-in-law took care of it.
Yeah.
And then we'll also stay on top of Heckman. He's doing a pretty good job now cleaning up. He's got the park on his routine. Somebody did paint some lines over there, which I don't know who did it, I'm guessing.
On the basketball court?
Yeah.
No.
We got a
Probably
3-point line and a free throw. So those have been painted. I guess I haven't been up there on a Monday night when they say that there's activities up there. So, but.
And Lakeview's got all new signage, if you wanna see new signs, go on Lakeview, they got all new signs for the parks and everything, the
Yeah, I
offices,
think
the
Viking
businesses.
might have done those if they.
They're very nice, they just got put in this week, they're very, very
Is
nice.
the Porta John up there?
Yep, Fort John's there. We took over yet. Very nice.
I went on to find a grave and downloaded everyone's name that's buried in both the cemeteries. And I really want to start putting who's the veterans on it and make sure that we.
When you're sitting in it.
Well, that'd be nice.
A lot of works in
A
progress.
lot of works in progress, I'm just checking,
Yep.
gotta keep
Keep
you
us
on your toes.
Yeah, exactly.
We
Any
do
other public
appreciate it.
comment?
How's the bridge coming?
Last time I was down there, they were putting gravel on the south end of it and packing it down for the
So it's-
road base. The concrete is in place, and that was a week and a half ago, was the last time I was down there. So,
Should be soon then.
hopefully soon now, they get it all shaped and packed and then blacktop both approaches.
Cool.
Looks great.
Good deal.
Any minute would be nice.
Yeah,
Well, for the people that travel that.
I don't
Right.
know if they're ahead of schedule or behind schedule.
They said June, the end of June online,
Did they?
so.
We're getting there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anybody else? You have your hand up?
Question, it's just my ignorance, but on the voter rolls, that on the absentee permanent roll,
Right.
they're concerned about them getting put on permanently, but who takes them off?
Just send a note to us, to me, and yeah.
After somebody dies,
Right.
they're supposed to write you a note.
Right, if you don't want to be on the permanent one, or you don't even want to be on an absentee ballot.
Yeah, but I mean, once they're on the permanent one, somebody has to take them off.
He's saying what happens if someone passes away and there's no one.
I have to put them on.
I mean, yeah, exactly,
Yeah.
you have to put them on, but, I
Right.
mean, does somebody
Same-
tell you
on the
every
same
time
token,
somebody
if you
dies
don't
or
want
something?
it, then I'm.
Because those people that get put on the absentee ones, they're the most likely ones to be leaving soon. And, you know,
Okay,
it's
do
just
you-
a thought.
do you need a family member to come in to bring you the death certificate so that you can
Yeah,
legally
you gotta-
take them off? I think you need that.
Deceased, yeah, we take them off we tag them as deceased, so that it.
So they'll get a mailing to that address every year from here to eternity if somebody doesn't.
If you don't participate in voting over a certain period of time, so many elections, so much time, then you will also be put on the inactive. So when you do vote, we record that, and then that goes into the qualified voter file. And so if I pull you up, I will see all the elections that you have voted for. So,
When we were doing I'm Kathy from Winfield Township. When we were doing the petitions around, my neighbors have been gone for 10, 15 years, and they were both on there still. I actually called the county and asked, like, how come these people are still on there? And she said, we've never gotten a death certificate. So does that mean, those people continue to get absentee ballots? She asked me if they had just recently died, and I was like, no, they've been gone a long time.
That's a good
That goes
question.
to, is it,
Hmm.
isn't that she, isn't the
That's how I
permanent
feel too. But
absentee voter, isn't that a new?
That's a
feature?
new one.
Okay, so then,
this was long before you, and I don't think it was like anybody that was here in Winfield Township either. It's just, how do we get these voters taken off when they've been deceased that long?
Right.
They even had the new homeowners on the petition too, but they had the deceased people at the same address too.
Yeah.
It was just kind of messy, you know, it was just a few of them.
Yeah, when we were going through it, Dennis identified the person that had passed away that he knew. So,
So potentially we're wasting money sending.
We have no estimate, because we've been sending it out,
That's what I'm getting at.
and potentially fraud or whatever.
So we need a better system of checks and balances.
But, hey, it was your first election, and you learned a ton, so.
and it takes a lot of time.
Yeah.
My part or Dennis's part. I mean, you're sending out 500 applications, then they get them back, and then you're sitting around recording that and sending out ballots. You know, that takes a lot of time. And not to count the envelopes and the postage. So even though the state reimburses it, it's still out of your taxes. So,
Anybody else?
Question on trash. When you guys locate that, are you gonna put it in a very visible spot you can watch? Because I'm gonna guess there's restricted items that they can't put in. And the last time I saw,
The dump day?
the last time I saw it, left page from that recycling and all that, it was awful. People were throwing everything and they pulled it because of it.
No, it'll be monitored
Okay.
and
I just
staffed.
wanna make sure people are gonna start like
Yeah,
jumping
no,
oil
it's
in
not-
there
it's
and
not gonna be
selling
free
the-
for all.
the trash. People are like,
No.
you can't take it, just throw it, that's just waste, yeah.
You gonna
Okay.
do a tire amnesty day?
Maybe. I spoke with one guy that said they'd do tires with the sidewalls that be cut off. So I could check with the tire place in Howard City on that and see, so we did a,
Even the place,
Coles.
fairly near place. They're not doing any more. Where are you talking about? Wonderland?
yeah.
Oh, there's another place you should.
No,
No, Larry
Larry
Coles.
Cole.
Larry
Cole.
Coles. Lake Von
Okay.
Road.
He's in
Over by
industrial.
like.
By the
That's
silos.
the thing, you should talk to him.
Okay.
He does recycling them. He
Yeah,
runs them up.
I've quite a bit. He's-
Yeah, we'll set up a scrap trailer, a Jones trailer,
Yeah.
and then a tire trailer and try to get, what we can.
Because I do know a lot of your area farmers bring a lot of the tractor tires and different things like that to it, to get rid of it.
But some places don't take tractor tires,
Right.
that's the other problem on that, so. They might.
Larry's well for us.
Yeah, we're shooting for sometime, September, late September, early October for a fall cleanup day. I've had numerous calls, but we didn't, it wasn't on the radar for spring cleanup. We had no information on it, so. but we're-
Well, I understand that. You came in and you guys were just, yeah. And it was very lackadaisical on the other part, sorry to say.
Miscellaneous account.
Yes, that's
We'll
miscellaneous.
talk that under miscellaneous. Any other public comments? Derek?
Monday's the only day the pastor gave you for the church.
He said that was, Mondays are usually free, they have stuff going on the rest of the days of the week, either, I don't know, church stuff or, I'm not sure.
Okay.
Well, I mean, we'll try to get it out and public, posted.
Does that day work for you? Is that what you're asking? I mean,
No, it doesn't work, but I'll make it work.
Monday at 7 o'clock, I mean,
well, and I'll send out the.
Well, I just wondered about like if Thursday, now, about that week, if it was available.
Right.
Then that actually gives you that 15 days, no issues by the time it gets going.
Yeah, well, and I'll send out the email, to everyone separately, of course. And who knows if it's gonna work for everyone else, so I mean, it's not set in stone, that's just what we're gonna shoot for.
tentative that week, the week of the 26th.
But I just didn't know if that's, that's only the day he said that's the only day.
And he said Mondays usually work best, because the majority of the past meetings that we had there were usually on Monday night. So,
But it's a new guy now,
Yeah. Huh?
it's a new pastor there.
Well, I called Mark Graham, he manages the scheduling of the rentals and that, so that was was the only contact that I had. But, we'll make it work, and if the other members of the planning commission at the 29th or someday, other day that week works, we'll get it noted and posted and send that information out. So.
Cool.
Anybody else? All right, we'll close public comment and board comments. Teresa, you got anything?
Well, you should be getting an estimate show from the trash companies.
Okay.
Soon.
You know how many there were coming from, or?
You helped me do that, what, there was two for sure, wasn't there, three?
3,
Yeah.
and then 1 is a self-employed guy over out of Gowan, and he's not taking any new customers.
Okay.
But the stuff is supposed to be coming directly to you.
Okay.
Into
And
your
my
PO box.
supervisor?
Yes, it's in the PO box.
Oh, and being mailed? Okay.
Yes. And the representative's got your phone number, and they're supposed to contact you if need to be.
Yep.
There was Waste Management, Ranger, and Republic.
Okay. Yeah, I think the guy from Granger I spoke with, and he said just, give me the information, I'll look at it, I compare these all together, so.
Yep.
Yeah, because I had gotten the numbers of residents versus commercial in the area. There's hardly any commercial
Right.
to speak of.
Yep.
And so it was around 1,100 and something per.
1,168.
Residents or?
Yes.
The residents.
Houses?
Yep, houses.
Gotcha.
For it.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, I'll keep my eyes peeled for that. You got anything? No. I'd like to say welcome, Amber. Look forward to friend of teaching you and welcome to small town politics. That's all I got. Ken?
As far as the trash pickup stuff, is there a possibility that we could make a ordinance that, and put it on their taxes, that if you have a residence, you do participate in, you know, have a container to pick up your trash. And-
Possibly.
And
What is Belvedere?
I don't know.
Well, it's part of their
Yeah.
taxes, so they must have done a,
Well,
Done some kind of ordinance or millage.
they must have done a
for that.
millage,
Mhm.
maybe also.
Because I know of one person that takes their trash and burns it in their wood burner to heat their house.
Well, there's always,
Talk about
there's always
future.
the tax board,
Yeah.
deal.
Talk about hatred.
Or review.
If you don't put plastic in
I
it,
mean, 'cause
probably
then I
not.
thought, was it Andy Rossman was giving me the numbers, and he was like, well, how are you guys gonna do that? And I said, well, I'm sure that, you know, there'll be some process which somebody wants to take and fight that.
Yeah.
And he's actually very interested in it for his township, and he's eager to hear what we find out for ours.
Yeah.
Or researching off Belvedere and the ones that do have it, and then let's get these quotes, and then, you know, if we have to get with the attorney, and, you know, I don't know anything about adding village, and it's all new stuff for us, and then we're gonna add an ordinance to it as well.
Seems like if it was $10 a month,
You know,
most
we
people
spread
would
that out,
want it.
Oh, yeah.
taxes, and, you know, kind of make it affordable. I
If
can't
If that's what it broke down to.
Yeah.
These taxes.
So over there by that church where you're just talking, I drive by coming home from work and I noticed somebody dumped their garbage just on the side of the road up there just the other day, like 2 days ago.
It's on all the back roads.
So it's like, maybe this one will take care of some of that.
All right, now we'll keep researching it and putting it together, so. Brenda, you got anything? All right, and while you're here, Amber, you got anything? Dennis? All right. Is there a motion to adjourn? All right, is there a second for that?
I'll second it.
All those in favor of the motion to adjourn?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passed. Thank you for coming.